Welcome to Thinking Caps. I'm Jack McMullen. He is Tommy Weber for another rendition of this lovely pregame show. Tommy, how you doing? It's getting hot.
It is hot. Summer has arrived all of a sudden. We knew that would happen, though.
Yeah,
we had a tough one today.
It was a very tough one today. It was a very tough one the past couple of games we've had, and that is something that I really want to hit with you today, because we talk about, how do you stay even keeled? You win 5 in a row. How do you keep your foot on the gas? You lose 5 in a row. How do you get back to the winning way, and how do you change that mindset?
I think the way you do it is you keep faith in the process that you've set forth from the beginning. You don't really change course very much. There really isn't a lot that you can do. One of the things that you don't want to fall into is the trap of thinking that if you change something on a daily basis, you're going to get a better result. The reality is we do this well. Jamie, these kids play for Jamie. We've been doing this a long time. The format really hasn't changed. Whether you're winning a championship or you're scuffling as we are now, it's basically the same formula. We get here early, we work at everything, and you got to hope that you get a really well-pitched game perhaps, and somebody goes long and deep into a game, and you win a ball game, and it stops the slide.
What do you change necessarily as a coach? You say we get here, we work early, and we try and change something, but not necessarily change is always a good thing. Where do you see the room to tweak?
What I always do is each and every day I pick one particular thing I may have seen in a game before. I never address it during the game. I usually don't address it during the game unless it's egregious. And we talk about it in early work. I come out, we start a conversation. I say, you know what, maybe that ball you threw away, if it had taken one less step or whatever, let's work on getting in and throwing it, that kind of thing. Because what I'd like to do is take the attention away from the losing streak, take the attention away from the fact that we're scuffling, and maybe work on something that we can micromanage, do better in early work, and feel good about ourselves as we go into the next ball game.
The toughest part of those losing streaks and always trying to look forward is you have that day where you have circled on your calendar. We had that this past week, that off day, that rainy Thursday, that everybody just kind of had a second to decompress and relax and take a deep breath. You come back, you lose 14-0 this past Friday to Bourne. What does that do for the psyche if you come back and now you're in another stretch of back-to-back baseball?
Well, it's not good. There's no way to whitewash this kind of stuff. The season is finite. It doesn't go on forever. At some point, there have been a lot of seasons I've been involved in where things just didn't work out, and that's always a possibility. The reality is there's no predetermined outcome unless you're at a wrestling match. The game has a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of things can go right, a lot of things can go wrong. You look back on our season, we talked today, a couple of the coaches, back at the house, and we were saying, 4 games we should have won. You take those 4 games that we should have won. We had those games won. Not that I wanted to win, but we had those games won, and we kicked them away. It's a whole different picture. Now we're in basically second place. And for all that's gone wrong, we're 2 games out of a playoff spot with a lot of baseball left to play.
That's the magic of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Just 2 games out of a playoff spot right now. The 4 out of the top 5 get in. And that's something that, are you guys looking at, okay, the road to the playoffs or the road back to 500 and back to kind of a safety cushion? Or are you always just thinking, let's get past August 2nd?
I think what we're thinking about is today, playing a better game. I spoke to Kelly Nicholson before the ball game, and I said, I just hope we play a good game today. And he said the same thing. They're scuffling as well. If we play well, it's a good indication that we're going to continue to play well. If we pitch well and catch the ball and put the ball in play, I think we'll be all right. If we could make that our trend going forward, we've got a legitimate shot to make the playoffs, even though we have not played well up to this point.
Tough games for the Whitecaps. Last night against Bourne, 14-0 loss. Check that. But hopefully a good game is coming today. Tommy, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We'll see you guys soon.